All right, guys, here it is, the first official playtest.
Yes!
You enjoy that? Oh, 1 second.
Oh, okay.
So we have a list of changes here. And you're just gonna have to go through this one.
Okay.
And then change all the text to match what we've written here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's perfect. I love it. It's great.
Just actually, one more thing about the illustrations.
Uh-huh.
This is a coloring book. You're just gonna have to go through the coloring book and then finish all the drawings here and then cut them out and paste them into this, print it out, and you know, is that cool? Can you figure that out?
Yeah.
Just wait for patch 4. Hi everybody, welcome to Gamegorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about endless notes and changes to Pathfinder. Just oh so many, a lot of which are sort of inconsequential and most of which are just earth-shatteringly huge.
Yeah, so as of September 14th, I think is what today is. Sure, these are the patch notes as we know them. We're not gonna go through 100% of them. A lot of them are just text changes of like, hey, this makes it make more sense, or like, this was misspelled, stuff like that. We're not gonna go over that, but we're gonna go over like the big things, which I think we go over the biggest thing, which is Baba signature skills.
Yeah, remember this graphic from all of our past character videos?
With this music, I love. All right, now with signature skills gone, I think this opens up the game so much more. Like, having signature skills kind of was like, we're gonna limit you down to what you can be, and it prevented you from being that rogue that specialized in like knowledge. And you can't be that legendary knowledge character because you didn't have a specialization or a signature skill in that lore. Like, and it kind of sucked in that sense that it would do that. And so I'm super glad they got rid of it. Now, they also changed a little bit about how the death mechanic works. So now when you hit 0 hit points theoretically from an enemy and not you just being stupid and falling.
You're gonna wish you died.
Or in my case, for me being stupid and falling.
Your turn moves from where it would normally be in the initiative to right in front of the character that attacked you and hurt you.
Exactly.
Our suspicion for that is that it gives the entire team an opportunity to try to either bring you up or heal you or whatever without you having to roll your death save first.
Yeah, it's really demoralizing to be in a situation where you get put at 0 hit points and lose your ability to like make any meaningful impact on the fight, and then roll your death save and critically fail.
Yeah.
Like, those two things right next to each other feel so bad. But what feels good is like, oh no, I'm in a crappy situation, and then the guardian angel cleric comes down and is like, I got you, my baby, and then touches you and you're healed. That feels great, because that feels like your team's got your back.
Yeah, no, I agree. Originally we were trying to like figure out the reasoning behind it, but that makes the most amount of sense. Also, when you get knocked unconscious and hit 0 hit points, you gain the death condition, which basically means that on your turn, you need to roll a death saving throw, which is a fortitude save.
Right.
And that save is against a number that the DM picks, basically. It's supposed to be around how much damage you took from them, and that's about where you're supposed to hit. So if they did 15 points of damage to you, that's where that roll is supposed to sit. That's supposed to be the DC of what you're supposed to hit.
I can imagine some modifications in situations where you're dealt like an extraordinary specific kind of damage, like you took death damage or like necrotic damage or something like that. Or like the kind of damage they did to you is from a ballista, just something that's just inordinately difficult to survive, you know? That's the only situation where I can imagine a DM being like, hey, this is +3 to the difficulty of your death save.
Well, and I think what I like about this death save over 5th edition is that the player knows what the DC is in D&D 5e. And so they just know, I need to roll an 11. I have a 50-50 chance to succeed or fail, right? And then I have a 5% chance to critically fail or critically succeed. Now, the DM has that number. They roll, and they don't know what they need to roll. So they just, they roll, and they're like, 17? And you're just like, you succeed.
They're like, okay, that doesn't give me very much information because that's a high number. They still got that like palpitation.
Exactly,
going.
yeah, because they don't know if 17 won, but next round does a 15 hit. You know what I mean? Like it brings it to a little bit more of an excitement and an actual action that you're doing versus just like flipping a coin.
Yeah, death in Dungeons and Dragons doesn't feel stressful until you miss 2. That's the only time it feels stressful.
Now, with this, the mechanic, how it works is once you reach death 4 condition. So you gain a death if you fail on a roll, on a death save.
Yeah.
And if you critically fail, which is, again, either a 1 or 10 below whatever whatever the save is, you then gain 2 points of death, which is very, very scary. And the opposite is the same. So if you succeed,
you lose 1 point. If you critically succeed, you lose 2 points.
Exactly. And I like the idea of all of that. And once you reach 4, you're just dead.
Yep.
Like no one can revive you. A couple things to that is if you get brought up from healing means, so if someone casts heal on you, you get brought up to 1 hit point. You don't gain any additional. It's just flat up to 1. And you can immediately take an action. You're slowed 1.
Yeah, based on how many dying you had. So you're slowed X for 1 round, where X is the number of dying you had when you were healed. Which I think is a good, like coming back from the brink of death is probably pretty tiring, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, if you make it back from death by yourself, you then have to wait. So you have either a minimum of 10 minutes that you're basically knocked unconscious, up to several hours, depending on how the DM feels like how it went.
But, silver lining, you do for free gain 1 hit point. Yeah. So, I mean, fair? Do you guys think the new dying mechanic is fair, or do you think it's very difficult? Do you think it's fair that it uses like an actual fortitude saving throw? Meaning that like some characters won't have as much chance of surviving as others? Let us know down in the comments.
Now, I really like this next change.
Cool.
Which is the change on how dedication feats work.
How do dedication feats work now, Indigo?
So originally, dedication feats required some sort of requirement in trained of a skill.
Yes.
So acrobatics, athletics, whatever it may be.
Right.
Now, you can choose a dedication feat, and instead of having that prerequisite of a trained feat, or trained skill, you now gain that skill as a trained skill.
Oh. So if you needed athletics to be trained in order to take a specific dedication feat, you instead become trained in athletics when you take that dedication.
Exactly.
And this is the part that I think is kind of weird.
Sure.
If you were already trained in athletics, you get to just become trained in anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's a little too generous. I do like the rest of the change. I think it's reasonable to kind of buff those feats a little bit, the dedication feats. Allowing people to just disperse that training across. I mean, I don't know. It's a kind of tough thing, right? Because the feat or the skill that you're getting is going to be thematically relative to the feat that you're taking. So if you're going after that feat, chances are you already have that thing trained. So.
And I mean, they specifically say trained, so you're just basically getting rid of that -2 penalty versus like becoming expert or master. It's not allowing you to bump that up. And that's why
that's a good point. I didn't think about it that way, but if it was just kind of like increase X by 1, that would be very broken.
Super broken. Now, the last really, really big change is across all of the classes. So originally, you would just get X amount of skills that you can become trained in.
Right.
Now, they've actually given you one skill that you have to be trained in. So for example, alchemists, they're like, hey, you're gonna use the crafting skill a lot. You're now trained in crafting.
Alchemists being trained in crafting by default?
Yeah, and then they go, here are your additional skills. You choose what you want to be that aren't necessarily required for the freaking class.
Yep, amen. That one was really good, and I know for a fact that I saw that complaint either in our comments somewhere or on the forums. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was on our YouTube.
Oh, really? I believe you. The other thing is the monk. I specifically asked for this change in the monk, and I'm just gonna say that it is in the game now because of me specifically as an individual person. Nobody else was involved in that change. Thank you very much.
They also bumped up and dropped down some skills on every single one. None of them, I believe, are the same, if I'm correct.
We'll double check that and put it on the screen.
We also have all of those numbers on show notes, so head over to the show notes to check those out. But I want to know what your thoughts are. What do you guys think about all of these changes? Like, which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like? And let us know down in the comments.
One more question. Do you think there's anything missing? Something that was high priority that wasn't in the notes? I'll start that conversation by saying, where's ranged abilities for the monk, please? I didn't see that. Can I please hit things that fly?
While you're down there, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so the subscribe button actually does something, and then head over to Twitter and talk to us.
Yeah.
You can talk to me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
You can talk to me on Twitter at KrugQT, or both of us at the same time at _QueueTimes on Twitter or at QueueTimes on Instagram.
We've been Gamegorgon. We'll see you later.